Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This is going to be my showcase of El Grande Americano, a numero uno. I'm actually pretty hyped about this one. I'm definitely a mark for El Grande Americano. He is a modern era aggressive technician. He has the modern era link and the stock numero uno gear. He's a trainer. Yellow moves that deal damage deal 75% more, and green moves start with 2 more MP. It's another one of the niche MP trainers. Move damage currently not being used a ton on a lot of characters, but when it's needed, it's going to be really good. And the max trainer only needs 26k, which is interesting because lately a lot of max trainers have needed like 35k. So I don't know if they're going to add another level at some point, they're thinking with this one, or they just decided to dial it back, which is definitely nice, not needing to take it gold to get the max trainer. Although if you get numero uno, I think you're going to want to take him gold. Spoiler, I think he's awesome. I love this one. So let's get into it. We'll start with probably my least favorite moveset. However, this would be incredible for Red Boss, and definitely incredible for Red Boss. So, Missile Dropkick, I love this move in general. 6 MP red, deal 750k damage, increase your green MP by 10, then deal 2 million damage and steal 15 million health. That's a huge base health steal. Love this move. Ankle lock submission, make 40 random submission gems, do 675k damage for 3 turns. Remaining turn into 1 turn countdown gems that will increase your red gem damage by 15% for 1 turn when activated. So in boss, of course, you don't lose any of those countdowns. So it would be 40 times 15%. You're talking about a 600% red gem boost in boss off of that. And then the Northern Light Suplex, make 49 random gems into red gems. It's also a trap reversal. That's the theme this month. I think every card has a trap reversal. If someone makes a trap, do 2 million damage and increase your red gem damage by 115% for 2 turns, then steal the opponent's turn at 6 MP green. So obviously in boss, you're going to get a 600% red boost and then make the whole board red. So it's going to be awesome for red boss. So that's pretty cool. With this moveset, I would, there's better stuff than this outside of boss though, right? But I'll show you what this looks like. We're going to run with Butch for 4 red MP. And then we got Bulldog here for 2 red MP and 45%. So you start loaded in all modes. Bailey for 40% red. Zombie Bailey, that is. And then Austin for 40% any color gem. So Strap is just a 100%er. Regular Fury 2s. He has really high move damage. Actually, a lot of the cards do this month. But as you guys know, it's skewed very, very huge if somebody has max metals, because move damage takes the biggest hit by far. So I'm only going to be using a universal on all these ones because otherwise they're just going to look way, way better than they actually will perform. And people should be getting tons of max tier levels, whether it's takedown, fury, armor. Even my free-to-play's got 2 full sets, I think, of max medals, and he didn't start when they were giving away the free ones, and obviously misses a lot of medals. So you're going to face him a lot, so that's, again, the reason why. Yeah, let's get into it. I love him. He's a lot of fun. We're going to go against Taker, because Taker's got 85,000 health, and I want a bigger health pool, so we'll be going against Taker. So you guys can see what this, all of his stuff looks like, because there's some impressive stuff. Also, his fringe, which generally fringe and hair causes lag in the game, at least on emulators, doesn't fringe in the match currently. So he looks kind of ridiculous. So you would hit this move to load your greens. Of course, it steals 15 million health. Then we're going to hit the sub. Get the ankle lock, El Grande Americano. I have one gripe about El Grande Americana. There's no diving headbutt, so that is sad. So now we have that huge red gem damage, and let's make the board full of reds. 62 million gem damage. So, yeah, that's pretty good sub build, but mostly for boss. I do think no diving headbutt was a missed opportunity since El Grande Americana is known for that metal plate. That's my one major gripe, to be honest. I want to use a diving headbutt with him and can't. So, all right. Let's go to this moveset is using a sub as well. It's kind of insane. How much damage it can do. I don't like that it uses a sub. You can use it without a sub, which we'll do next, but this moveset is actually, if there's a botch buff in boss, I would be tempted to, this will probably do decent damage in boss. Probably won't be like a solo carry or anything like that, but it'll do really good damage in a botch boss. So pile driver, 6 MP. I don't really know that I remember Gable doing a lot of pile drivers, so like, you know, maybe this could be a diving headbutt. I don't know. Maybe he does, but 1 million damage to, sorry, did I say Gable? This is not Gable. This is El Grande Americano. Totally different person. My bad. Choose 2 gems to make into 2-turn Juggernaut gems that will make 25 random gems into botch gems on every countdown. Increase your red MP by 6 at the end of the countdown. Chaos Theory Finisher. 2 million damage, decrease your Juggernaut gem timers by 2. All Juggernaut gem effects will trigger when the timer is reduced, then deal 1.5 million damage plus 650k bonus damage for every botch gem. And then we got a black color sub, choose 8 gems to make into black submissions, 430k 3 turns, remaining turn into 1-turn countdown gems that deal 450k and decrease the damage of all your opponent's gems by 10% for 1 total turn. That's really not important, honestly. I couldn't care less about those Kanto gems. They're not doing really jack all for 1 turn, because when the 1 turn goes off, your board is covered in botch gems, so it's basically a worthless text, in my opinion. Loadout for this one, and we're going to talk a lot about this moveset after I run it once, or maybe if not a lot, a little bit. So the nice thing about this one, using the sub lets you get Andrade in here. And you start charged with the sub, which then you charge the finisher with. That adds 75% botch gem damage. Becky is the A tier. She adds 60%. Actually, this is really weird. I don't know that this will stay, because this Becky adds 40 and 60, and so does Zombie Becky, 40 and 60 when she's maxed, which she's not right now. And they're both like green botch, so I figure the color is probably going to change on her or something, or that's an oversight, or maybe they want double of the same coach. I don't know. So we're getting another 120% botch. If for some reason you get him, you don't have Becky, Stacy's 50% botch, basically the same. Trickster Stacy, not Super Stacy. Anyway, now you can see with this setup, we're doing almost 2 million per botch. It's 1.91 million, and we're going to have 49 of them. That is 93 million. Not that you're going to need the botch gems out there after that point, but that's 93 million botch damage. So it basically is going to annihilate everything, which is cool because Chaos Theory is one of the coolest finishers in all of wrestling, in my opinion, especially when done by Gable. Seeing him like Chaos Theory, huge people is always... sorry, this isn't Gable. I did it again. Wow. The disrespect. It's El Grande Americano. Anyway, how this works is you hit the sub, which and then, like I said, the countdowns don't really matter, but you're hitting the sub to fill the finisher, right? So let's do that. Literally, that's all we're using the sub for, a vehicle to fill the finisher. And then we don't care about the gem defense because we don't need it, because we're going to put 2 countdown gems down and then hit the finisher and destroy everybody with a board full of botches. 93 million, and then a board full of botches, right? Like, it's like kind of ridiculous. All right, there's one move I'm not going to use, which you could use for this move set, and I'll explain why I'm not going to use it now. So if you wanted to load it without the sub, you could use this move, choose deal 6 MP Moonsault, 790k damage. Choose 6 gems to make into black gems. But if you were to put that in, now you're going to need red MP. There's no red botch trainer currently in the game. And then you have to replace one of these with Hogan for matchy match. So you'd use 2-3 matches. So you're only getting 1 botch trainer. And at that point, you're just better off 2-click botching him with what I'm going to show you in this next move set, which is, we'll keep the sub in because you would use that to recycle if something goes wrong. But if you want to 2-click it and do, well, I'll show you the damage. Let's just do that right here. Doesn't matter which Becky you use. Now you're dealing 1.04 million on the 49, so it's basically 50 million. 49 times 1.04 is 51 million damage on the 2-click. You just put the jugs out, hit the finisher. You're using Woods, Mellow, Becky, and Santa, right? So, yeah. So this is why I wouldn't use the red move, because in the end of the day, this is way safer. And you're not using the choose. Does the same exact damage, right? So this is what the red choose would do if you're setting up for 2-3 matches and you got your red here. So yeah, that's why I'm not using the move. It just is riskier. You're better off using the sub or the 2-click. The sub is more damage with about the same amount of risk, and this is no risk in the same damage. Sorry, way more damage with the sub and about the same amount of risk. This is 0 risk. So then you hit for 50, and then of course there's the chance they kick out, but you could use this with Rock's Finery. Rock's Finery and like the Hitman Battle Jacket if you wanted to. So pretty great. But now we're going to come to my favorite moveset. We're going to probably run this a few times just because I like it so much. Yeah. And this, we're coming back to the first move that I said I really liked. This is going to allow him incredible survivability, that missile dropkick in any game mode, which I really like. And there's a few different things you can do here, depending on your opponent's health and all of that jazz, right? So we got the buff. You've seen all the moves, right? We got the diving crossbody, Northern Light suplex. We're just going to run at health steal now. And this doesn't need plates. You can add, you can add a Red Royal Rumble if you want. Anyway, long story short, we have a 60 million unblockable health steal. If you have Clubber Lang maxed, you get 200%. And if you have Nakamura, you get 100%. So that 15 million goes up to 60 mil, completely unblockable health steal on that missile dropkick. And then, you're charged in feud on turn 1. So yeah, everything is great. Everything is groovy. So why I like this one so much is I'm just going to hit this, bring Taker down here. And then for me, on most opponents, not showboats, most opponents, then you can just hit change the board red and 0 their health. But I went with Taker because he's got the most, so you could see. So this would be like proper 2-click. Taker goes all the way down to 9 million. We only hit for 10 million there, that way, because we didn't use the buff. But you're going to have the option to 2-click, right? When they don't have a ton of health, you'll have the option to 2-click. And when they do have a bunch of health, like a showboat, then you can just 3-click it and add the gem buff. So Taker, 85 million health. That's 60 million unblockable. Now we'll hit the gem buff, which really doesn't take that long. His animations are all really, really fast. And that did 27 million gem damage. So you're talking about like 90 million right there. And that's without any plates, right? So easily my favorite moveset. Now, if you weren't playing during Rocky, you can't get Clubber. So that's a problem potentially, right? Well, yes and no. Let's just see what happens when we swap Clubber out for Zombie Rock is 75% health steal. Now it goes down to 41 million health steal. Not bad. And let's see if all three moves without a plate can get through the 85 million health. So 41 mil unblockable. It looks like we might have crit there. Buff, Gem Chuck. Basically, he had 556k life left. So on a showboat, so still absolutely can get the job done. Of course, you can stick a red Royal Rumble on him. If you guys watch my videos a lot, you know I'm not going to like that, right? It adds extra time. I don't want to do that, but I'll show you a couple things. Let's go back to my preferred trainer setup, just because. Easily, like, I love this moveset. Like, Health Steal, leeches, all that kind of stuff is stuff I really like. My favorite like archetype class to play in RPGs is like Death Knights that have life drain. You know, I love doing damage and healing off of it. Like that's my favorite kind of thing in like RPGs and stuff. Give me somebody that can deal crazy damage with healing, self-sustain, healing themselves at the same time. Yeah, that's my jam. So I love this kind of build, like absolutely love it. What I would do if I get him, and he's someone he's the S this month, so I'm hoping it's like McCool and not like Austin. I will push to get him simply because I don't have anyone that can steal health like this. So he would be unique on my roster, and I like him. So the way I will run him is not with the Red Royal Rumble. I will use the Valkyrie crest to get 50% more gem damage. Not that much, right? But it doesn't slow him down. So this is exactly how I will run mine if I get him. And the bulk of the time, I will probably look to 2-click, to be honest. But the big reason I like him is because of the heal. Like I said, I don't have anyone on my roster that can do that. So again, I'll show you 2-click with that. We did like 10 million, 50% isn't going to add hardly anything here. We did basically the same. You're not going to be able to tell a difference unless you use the buff. Really, it's my Ninskule. Because there's nothing we're modifying off of, right? In gem damage, you just don't do a lot unless there's a buff or a multiply. So it's more for the 3-click, and just to add that little bit of extra, you know? But 70 million health will drain most people. So 3-click with it. We hit like 27 before. With the gem damage, 27. And now we're up to 30. So it gives us an extra 3 million-ish for that. Not bad. Not anything amazing. It's just a little boost, not a big boost. And now let's go with the Red Royal Rumble, because I know people will want to see it. Like I said, I won't put it on mine, but I know not everyone plays the same way as me, so. You can 2-click with this. It'll probably do like 15 or 16. I'll show you 2-click and 3-click. Honestly, the benefit to 2-clicking with this is if you're trying to beat somebody that's got a Hall of Famer with gem damage reversal, you know? Also, he's got a bunch of, or not a bunch, but he has hardcore stuff. So with the buff, if their style is defensive, you get double percentage buff. So he's going to hit even harder 3-click against defensive people. You're not really going to need it, though, to be honest. But yeah. And you can see Red Royal Rumble without the buff. This should be a good one. 17 million. We almost zeroed Showboat down to 2.8 mil, right? So like your Hall of Fame Goldberg, you might want that to 2-click against if you want him to be able to like go against the Hall of Fame Goldberg in feud who's got a gem reversal. I could see situationally why people might want that. And then this also has of course the reversal in it too. So and now let's show you with the buff. Oh gosh, that was obviously a crit on the health steal. We almost one-shot him. Woo! Very nice. Nice cascade there. 46 mil, right? So that's like over 100 million with the Red Royal Rumble for those of you that like huge numbers. So yeah. All right. El Grande Americana. So male tech has a ton of good people. I am biased because I'm a mark. So I do have bias. Also, I don't have anyone on my roster that does this, the health steal like this. I think Tech Rocky has a massive health steal. I don't know if it's this big. I can't remember. But I don't typically talk about him because he's super rare. I didn't get him. He was way out of my price range. It wasn't close, actually. So, you know, take that for what it's worth, but no one else on my roster even remotely plays like that. He has utility. Of course, if there's ever a health steal boss, you know, probably be decent, but the modifier probably won't be big enough to matter, truthfully. They typically don't do that. Red boss, he'll be very strong with the sub build, very, very strong. 600% gem buff is nothing to sneeze at. Botch, again, he's doing about, what was it, like 95 million with that sub botch setup. And so like if there's like a 4 times boss, it's like 360 million, which is pretty good, but not like a one person carry, right? So that's generally why those kind of moves are traps in boss. They just don't get enough to do that, like, you know, 2 billion damage that like really moves the needle, but it would be solid. So he's got a lot of boss utility. I mean, then and then if you don't take him down on turn 1, he's just, if you can't do enough damage, he's just going to out heal you with the move damage setup too, right? Or the health steal setup. So and it's unblockable. 60 mil unblockable in one move that's low charge is pretty spiffy for me. He does potentially have the same problem as like Acro Punk, who has, if you use the unblockable, is it a mobile or color turn set, that has MP up and gem percentage, right? So you have to worry about MP up reversal and gem percentage reversal, but El Grande has ways around that. So for me, right, I think Ilya and like Mercy have been kind of my go-to top techs. And then you put like probably Julius and Shredder right behind them, right? Simply because Julius and Shredder take a little bit longer to resolve. Ilya with the green plate does stupid damage now. Kind of ridiculous. Like I said, Rocky 76 I'm sure is up there. Actually, let's just take a look real quick, because he might be the only other person in the game. Yeah, base health steal 14.2 million. So probably is about the same. And you can load it off of 6 MP, just like El Grande Americana. He has the stun to go with it. So he can stun lock you with it and recycle. El Grande Americana is doing more damage though. So there's that, right? More damage because of the reds, and has probably more, a decent amount more utility in his kit. So for me, he's the tech I'll use, right? Like, so I will put him 1. I'll use him over the rest, even if his damage isn't as high. I feel like he's going to be much faster. Maybe Ilya has to interact with the board once. Does Mercy have to place his, or is it the bottom? Yeah, Mercy has to place his too, so he has to interact with the board once too. And then Julius doesn't, but there's that big resolve time. Julius is hits stupid hard with It's a Trap and Tama Plate. Ilya hits stupid ridiculous. These two are much higher. These three all are higher damage with all the stuff, right? Than El Grande Americana. But the unblockable, the other techs don't have that unblockable, which you guys know I really like. You just don't have to worry about crap. And he just does what I want him to do. In something unique, and maybe because he's new and I'm a mark, maybe I overvalue it, but for me, I think he would be my favorite tech, my best tech, and I would put him at least in the same category as like these four are like kind of the cream of crop of techs, male techs, and so he's right with them. Where you put him, you probably put him somewhere depending what trainers you have and stuff, like 1 to 3, 4, somewhere in there. I just like what he does, how he does it, and the versatility. So for me, I think I'll put him as my top tech. I think he's a great addition to the game. Oh yeah, I also didn't talk about, he's got the hot tag, which I didn't talk about. Shame on me. There's another thing. When tagged into the match, deal 25 million damage and increase your red gem damage by 150% for 1 turn. So he's going to come in with the hot tag and like auto win on anyone as well, right? And it's a 2-turn. Let's see, where do we see this? Not here. Info. News. Entourage. No, it's just not the button isn't there because we're in. Let's go here. I don't know why, but it's a 2-turn. I don't know why I'm not seeing where the hot tag thingy is right now, but it is a 2-turn. I verified that. So he can't come in first turn like DK Cena, but he's 2-turn like the rest. DK Cena is kind of special that way. So you also add in the hot tag, which gives him the extra showdown flavor. And yeah, I think he's kind of got everything you want and then some. So fantastic chase this month. I would highly recommend not skipping this one, right? Like going for it and doing everything you can to get him, because I think he's very versatile, very useful, and he's going to be used in probably game modes for a while. Whatever we got, whether it's showdown, feud, boss, right? With the self-sustain and the unblockable, I think he'll be around for a while. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like him? Do you think I overvalue him? What do you think about him? El Grande Americana is here straight from the Gulf of America, and I'm here for it. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, because that really helps me out. And good luck out there. Oh, I love me some El Grande Americana. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.